We are Games, an indie game studio. We are currently working on a project named Weeny Wise, a co-op adventure puzzle platformer and exploration game. In this video, we want to share our journey from the very beginning of creating our game, participating in our first professional event, and everything in between. We hope this video will be educational and provide valuable insights for those who are about to walk on a similar path. Our journey began in late September 2024, with 7 of us bringing together our previous game development experiences. We decided to embark on a new journey with Games. When we first started, our office was a 13 square meter space, with a table in the middle that barely fit all of us to sit, and some of us were working remotely. The first ideas took shape around that very table.
خب من همیشه دنیای جادویی رو دوست داشتم، مثل هری پاتر، مثل لورد آف د رینگز و مثل چیزایی مثل اینا. ولی توی فیلم‌ها و انیمیشن ها اکثرا میمدن راجع به خطرهای بزرگتر از ما صحبت میکردن، مثل تایتان ها، مثل گودزیلا و چیزایی که اصلا بزرگترن. اما من فکر میکردم که اگه یه سری چیزا باشن که کوچیکتر از ما باشن و باهوش باشن و علم غالبشون جادو باشه، میتونن برای ما خطر آفرین باشن یا نه. اما اشتباه نکنید، تم اصلی داستان راجع به این نیست و دقیقاً چیزی برعکس اینه و اینکه ما به عنوان انسان چقدر خطرناکیم برای هر چیز زنده و غیر زنده‌ای که روی زمین وجود داره.
We had discussed the idea with the publisher and they liked it. However, finalizing a contract was too early. After defining the design framework and the first lines of the GDD, it was time for artists to decide how the ideas should be visualized.
First of all, I was tired of making games. I was tired of making unpublished games. And then these guys came to me and talked about how great the idea is. And they told me we can publish the game. And I remember Reza came and told me the main concept of the game. He said it's fantasy and it has magic, it has portals, it has mushrooms.
I didn't say mushrooms.
I said, okay man. And you know, he knows what tickles me. We wanted to induce childhood and some kind of fairy tale vibes, but we didn't know how to reach this goal.
At first, I recommended to the art team that we need to choose a simple and minimal art style based on our experience of the previous game that we wanted to create. And the game actually had a detailed art style and textures, which is pretty hard for an indie game studio to reach. So this time I was wondering about finding a way, an easier way to stop wasting the time while we keep the visual. And the art team decided to pick the soft, stylized and the 3D art style, but at the end the perfection just made everything worse. And we couldn't do the specific things that we wanted to have in the game.
It was about late October that I started to create the environments for our pre-alpha game. My co-workers that are specialized in 2D art would send me some documents to create the environments with them, and I needed to be better at creating stylized environments. In addition, the time was so limited, sometimes we only had 5 or 6 days to create a whole scene. I had to learn about keeping my scene performant, and modeling organic models and modular assets was quite challenging for me.
However, it's Saeed's responsibility to implement these ideas in the engine.
As a technical artist, I have to create tools for designers and artists to create the game, and it was a bit challenging for me because I used to be a gameplay programmer. Then I became interested in technical art, and therefore I needed to understand the concept arts, the references, and to gain the ability to implement them in forms of shaders, visual effects, lighting, and etc. And in this path, our artists Mutahar and Fatima helped me a lot, and I appreciate them.
After 2 months of the project, the formation of the initial concepts, and the preparation of several simple environments, there was a crucial event in 12 days. The team was trying to prepare a good teaser for the event, but we didn't even have the needed initial assets. Regardless, we started to brainstorm ideas about the event.
Rezo told me to create the whole storyboard of the trailer just in 1 day.
We wanted to have a teaser with the best possible quality, and the most reachable way to achieve it was to use HDRP platform. And it was a mistake because it expanded some aspects of the project, such as environment lighting, ray tracing, and we didn't have the required resources to make it, and we couldn't make it in time.
The whole team put their efforts into making the teaser, over 10 days in total.
There were still too many scenes and little time left. Not to mention we were a few hours away from our departure. And despite all that, everyone's hard work and lack of sleep over those days, even on moving train, all we had was some completed task and an unsatisfying result.
Time was of the essence, and yet it was too early for an introduction teaser. Unfortunately, we couldn't even prepare an acceptable 15-second teaser, and we were not satisfied with the result at all. We ran out of time and couldn't find voice actors. As a result, we had to remove the teaser's dialogues. Anyway, it's okay. This was our first mistake, and it gave us some experience. Now you can see that teaser for the first time. One month later, we showed the publisher the prototypes and art assets we created. They liked the process and ultimately, our team. So, we reviewed the final agreements and successfully signed the contract. After the agreement with Skyding Games, we were even able to expand our office and bring in more people as needed.
Hi, I'm a studio artist at Uncle Games. When I first joined, I was happy to work with a great team on a fantasy game. Every day I excited to use my creativity to make a new worlds.
By January, we had enough gameplay and art assets and were ready to create a decent trailer to properly introduce ourselves.
این دفعه واقعا می‌خواستیم شکست نخوریم و می‌خواستیم یه ریویل تریلر درست بسازیم و خب این اولین تجربه‌مون بود. حالا پروژه‌ای که برای PC می‌ساختیم به مرحله یه ریویل تریلر درستانی نرسیده بود. سعی کردیم که خیلی چیزا رو توش نشون بدیم، خب چون مردم ما رو نمی‌شناختن و باید می‌شناختن. یه کوچولو از داستان گفتیم، یه کوچولو از مکانیکا نشون دادیم، یکم محیط‌ها رو نشون دادیم و سعی کردیم از هر چیزی یکم شامل بشه تا بتونن با قسمت‌های مختلف بازی اخت بگیرن و ببینن که آیا این همون بازی هست که بهش علاقه‌مندن یا نه.
The art team was quite okay with the timing. 3D modeling, concept art, lighting, VFX, and UI were ready. We just needed to see levels together and unifying the visual of the game. But that one thing was so goddamn hard.
We needed both a trailer and a playable demo and containing at least 5 minutes of gameplay. So we divided our crew into 2 parts, one for trailer and one for gameplay, and it was hard to manage them both, and sometimes as a CTO I had to switch between them.
We were at a crucial stage of the project and we needed to put the maximum effort into it. So we worked harder and even for longer hours, even more than 12 hours. The whole team was working on the trailer, but me. I was supposed to be working on the gameplay, and it was a little awkward and weird for me to feel left alone or isolated.
Finally, the trailer was complete, and after post-production and music composition, we could see our first trailer for our first game from our new studio. We liked it, although we knew it had some flaws. But we had to get started.
Others were still working on the trailer. It occurred to me that they could use some help, so I joined them. I was also given other tasks to manage concurrently, which was quite demanding for me as I was the only one responsible for the gameplay at that moment.
Why are we always behind schedule? And why do deadlines always seem so close? Another deadline is ahead, the Digital Dragons event. The trailer alone is not enough. They want a playable version of the game from us, and we want to deliver something even better than the trailer. With all that said, we could submit our registration form 1 day before the deadline, but...
Okay, thank you, Reza. We've received the demo version of the game, the vertical of the game. We played it, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good enough. You sent the game very late for us, and we couldn't set up the set up for the Digital Dragons, and this is so disappointing. The game was full of bugs. That wasn't very much good in even the visuals, the lighting. They are very bad, and I know this wasn't your full potential. I don't know what to say. And this is very bad. We have to publish our information on Digital Dragons platform today, but this is our last chance, and I don't know what to do. I don't know.
Thanks, Borhan. I'm sorry. No matter how hard we tried, we couldn't deliver the version earlier. And what's the plan now?
I don't know. We have to wait for a miracle, or you're going to work hard on the project till the next time the Digital Dragon will be held. Do you want to work for another 1 year? Is this really what you want to do?
The Digital Dragons organizers extended the registration period by 4 days, as if they had heard us out. We have already missed 2 days, and we just have 2 more to fix all the issues.
I had only 2 days to finish, but everyone started for pre-alpha stage. And others had done their job and moved on to alpha stage. And that moment felt strange because unlike the others who had the pressure off their chest, I was still under rush to pass the deadline and under too much pressure to don't waste their efforts.
We did it. It still has some flaws, as always. All games do. But this was the first professional event that we were able to attend. And for the first event and pre-alpha version, we are satisfied with what we created. What do you think? Can we win an award or become a nominee?